What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. It is episode number 39, returning today on the back of the longest penalty shootout I have ever had. Yep, the knockout to Brentford in the Carabao Cup last 16. In the last episode sees one of 4 trophies available to win gone, but we don't really mind because we've got bigger fish to fry, and we're frying them today. Match days 4 and 5 in the Europa League coming as we face Celtic away at Celtic Park and face Shamrock Rovers as well. I love facing Irish teams in Europe, man. I can't explain why, but also more big games in the Premier League, where it's been a decent start. 6 wins in our first 9 games, only the 1 loss so far, that coming to Chelsea, and we're only behind the league leaders Manchester United on goal difference. So yeah, tough mini run, but let's kick on with the first game of many today away at Selhurst Park, where after just 1 win in our last 4 games, we're aiming to put it right here and go on a nice unbeaten and winning streak. Starting with Oliver Glasner's side away in London. Come on, let's switch down. I'm trying to be a bit more upbeat today as well, guys. On the back of the last episode where I discussed, I've been struggling a bit with the depression recently. It's not been a very positive time at the moment for old Doxy boys. Adley goes down. That is a big worry, and that's definitely not positive. That's negative, but I do want to try and be more positive, and I do make a lot more of an effort to try and be as optimistic and as upbeat as possible in my videos. Sometimes it's harder to do that, but it's going to be a lot harder to do that as well if that injury for Adley is what I think it will be. That, to me, looks like a broken toe for our main man. Georgie from range denied, and with him starting the season off red hot, goal after goal after goal, that is a huge, huge concern. There's Nafio wins it. And Hassan given space to let fly, also denied. It's all Ipswich in the early stages here. Just searching for that opening goal. Adam Wharton also denied. All our shots from range, really. And still 0-0 for now. Good start. But I'm going to have to keep Adley out there and just say soldier on. It'll probably be done for 3 months. But in this game, needing a breakthrough, who else but Amin Adley to provide it? My apologies to Amin Adley, but he's got a soldier on out there. I mean, seriously, he's the only consistent goal scorer we've had all season long. And right on cue, he'll get the opener. Even on one leg, I'll be saying to Double A, you've got to keep playing. He seems fit enough to be doing the somersaults, but I doubt it will just be a bruise. I mean, fingers crossed, touch wood it will be, but Amin Adley is that important, man. If he is done for an extended period of time, which I believe he will be, we're going to be in trouble. Georgie, David, Delap, all 3 of them combined are not as important and impactful as Amin Adley. He is that good. To the final 12 minutes, haven't made a sub yet, just trying to see this out. And this might do it. What a ball! What a ball! Georgie for the dagger, denied. And still the lead is 1. It is crazy, man. All of our wins are like 1-0. Great show of defence, but the problems continue. We get lots of chances, but my finishing is just absolutely abysmal at times. And that's why I said it. Amin Adley is that important because he's the only one who I know will hit the back of the net consistently. That shot deflected behind for a corner, and in it goes, and that is the dagger. Goncalo Anafio's first for the club is a dagger, and the Tractor Boys will return to winning ways. Back-to-back wins in the league at least, and will keep pace with Manchester United. Huge 3 points. Of course, the big question was, how bad is the injury for Amin Adley as Newcastle came back to level with Manchester City there, so their struggles to start the season do continue. But as for Amin, I have to say I'm pretty sure it's a 3-month injury. My fingers are crossed. And it is indeed Amin Adley with the classic career mode broken toe, and we won't see him again until the end of January. For all the players to get injured, he is the one we could not afford. 8 goals in 10 games and 2 in as many in Europe as well. He has been the only consistent goal scorer all season long in a low scoring team. That is a massive, massive blow. Just got to get through this patch now. Yep, Mama said there'd be days like this and tough times happen to everyone. And they certainly are for Doxy Boy in Ipswich Town. Adley done for 3 months, joining Koleosho in the treatment room. And now we need a big performance away at a tough ground to go to. Celtic away at Celtic Park in Glasgow for our following Europa League game. Going for our 3rd win in 4 to stay in the top 8 automatic qualification places. Big game to go into without our star striker. Let's see how we get on. Go on, Ipswich Town. Got lots of Celtic and Rangers fans, and I've mentioned before, my uncle's a big Rangers fan, so I went to Ibrox quite a few times as a kid. I've never actually been inside Celtic Park, but I have been past it. But obviously the site of some famous European nights in recent history, you know, win against Barcelona, against AC Milan, when there was the infamous Dida Flair incident. I'd imagine on European nights, you know, Celtic Park has a certain sort of magic, which is great to be a part of, you know. But tonight we're hoping we'll stifle that magic atmosphere and get a big 3 points and back-to-back wins for the first time in a while. And we discussed the importance of form. You got to make sure when you've had a slip up, you bounce straight back, and when you've got to win, you build on it. Hassan going all the way, pegs it back. Georgie's shot deflected, and it will drop straight back to Hassan. And there's the lap, and that should have been the opener. Excellent start from the Tractor Boys, though, as that opening goal is coming at this rate. Hassan, great dribbling. Oh, what a goal. And what a time to get your first of the season as well. What a way to do it too. Moses Hassan. So don't worry about me going down, Doxy Boy. I'm the secret wild card weapon on that left-hand side. You see the reaction of some of those fans there in disbelief. That is a wonderful bit of skill. And the finish is clean into the top corner. Tractor Boys in front. First goal of the season for our number 10. Just got to push through this storm. Tough times for Ipswich Town on the back of a poor mini run, knockout in the Carabao Cup, and also Amin Ali going down. But what's that great saying? When you're going through tough times, just, oh, what a miss. Just keep going. Yeah, we are going through it. But we are going to Celtic Park tonight with the ambitions of back-to-back wins. The Lap gets his 2nd of the season. It's a lucky rebound goal, but how often have we said it? In this year's FC, be alert after you've taken your initial shot, because oftentimes the ball will deflect back to you. The Lap with the 2nd, Ipswich 2-0 up. When you're going through tough times, keep going, and we definitely are. When I was younger, I really struggled with depression heavily. And at the time, obviously, I didn't know what it was because I was just too young to understand why I had these waves of emptiness, not just sadness. And the resources weren't really there for me at the time. Obviously, now I understand what it was. But I always believed, you know, at some point in adulthood, it's going to be all right. Like, it's going to go, and it will be like a distant, horrible memory. Unfortunately, it just never did. But I remember when I was talking to my therapist for the first ever time in a consultation, and she asked me what I wanted to get out of therapy, and I've mentioned this in a video before. My goal going through therapy alongside my medication as well is that one day I'll be cured of depression, and one day I'll be rid of it, and that's what I'm hoping to get out of therapy combined with medication. And she said something which sounded quite bleak at the time, but it was very realistic, which is that when you've had it for so long, for me, the vast majority of my life, chances are you're probably never actually going to get over it fully, but you'll learn new coping mechanisms to deal with it, and you'll be able to manage it better. And I definitely have. I've gotten far better at coping with it and kind of, you know, not necessarily pushing it to the back of my mind, but, you know, getting on with it per se and finding ways to combat it. But yeah, it's a great saying which I try to remind myself when I'm really struggling. You know, when you're going through the storm, keep going. You know, there's no point in stopping down. Anyway, 3-0 up, Delat with 2, and that is going to do it. It's going to be 3 wins in 4 in Europa League phase. And no doubt about it, I said this season the board have asked us to win it like Ipswich did back in 1981. That's my target as well, laying down a marker early. And on the back of the win as well, Liam's just come to me and said, really pleased you picked me, boss. I feel like this could be a big boost for my career. And as we know, on the back of his brace there, he is out of contract coming the end of the season. We've discussed it on the back of the signing for Georgie. Would he be playing his final year as a tractor boy in what is now the 5th season of the save? Well, I have to say, our new Georgian forward hasn't quite hit the ground running yet, with just a 1 goal in 9 games. Whereas for Delap, his ratio's alright. 4 goals in 9, and he scored 1 in every competition, and now 2 in Europe as well. And he's still getting better, and he's only 25 as well. I'm going to ask him to take a rotational squad role, because if he does, and he can settle for a bench role, coming off the bench but also playing in midweek games, then I won't have a problem with that. But I can't promise him important first team football anymore. But it'll take rotation. Okay, fair enough. Well, I was a bit cheeky with the sporadic there, but he's going to take a rotational squad role. I'll try and extend it by 3 or 4 years, okay? In the end, it's going to have to be 2, but Liam will be staying, and I'll give him a slight wage increase as well for the loyalty, taking a reduction in minutes as well. Liam Delap staying as a tractor boy, just on less minutes. Maybe not. Okay, well, I've got time to renegotiate a new contract. An insult, 30 grand a week. Are you kidding me? I'll take 30 grand a year. Still 2 months to go until we need to worry about him being poached away on a free transfer. So, yeah, plenty of time to renegotiate that contract. Anyway, following game, Southampton at home. This needs to be a banker as well. Right now, it looks like a 3-horse race for the title. Early doors, Manchester United and us only separated by goal from Chelsea, just 3 points behind as well. But if we are to make sure we stay in the title race for the whole season, we need to win these games. The definite bankers. Southampton coming to Portman Road. Colin Ipswich Town. I know that the money involved in top level football now is absolutely unreal, but it still blows my mind sometimes when you consider the fact that to some players being offered a contract like that, 30 grand a week, 30 grand a week, can be considered insulting. It's absolutely ludicrous, isn't it? You know, when you compare that to the average national salary in the UK, which I believe is 30 grand a year. It really is staggering, isn't it? It's Chelsea just taking the lead there against Nottingham Forest as well. This is a really important game for us, man. We cannot afford to slip up in this one against the side right now. I've only 1 win to start the season off. Needs to be a banker. And we need to show that with Amin Adley missing it. Oh, what a turn, Georgie. Come on, keep going with me. There we go, keep going, because I'll give Georgie space. There we go. We can cope without him, and we're not a one-man team. And I love that little bit of movement there as well. Georgie to find a bit of space to run through. But when you have a partner with you running alongside you, like in the case of David there, and James was there for a second too, you see for a second, Bella Kotchap, he just hesitated as opposed to coming across. That's because if he does leave David, I've got a free man to offload to for a simple run at goal. When you're running with a partner, it's not always about finding him for a quick little offload, but just using him at times as a dummy runner to drag a covering defender away. Played that perfectly. That moment there for Washington, that won't show up in the stat sheet. He's not credited with the goal or the assist, but without his run, without his movement, we don't get that goal. I love how the game has become so much more advanced in terms of recording statistics and advanced analytics. I find it fascinating. I really do. And again, it's those moments there that the elite kind of performance analysts will be able to take note of. It doesn't show up in the stat sheet. You're not going to see that added to a player's goals on their wiki page. But without it, we don't get the goal. As Hassan almost bent in his second in as many games. There's certain players whose off-the-ball movement they'll never get the true credit for. I tell you one player that I always thought never really got as much credit as he deserved for that. Bobby Firmino at Liverpool. Bobby Firmino was one of the best I've seen in recent years of having tremendous off-the-ball movement, and he didn't always get the goal or the assist. But Liverpool fans will tell you this, without his movement, without his presence on the pitch, they are not as good of a team as when he's on the bench. He was a heck of a forward, man. Corner, Ipswich, 22 to go before the full-time whistle, and leading by 1, trying to see this out as Garner's delivery flicks down to Washington, shot blocked, and it'll drop to Onana, who's got space to let fly here, so why not? We know he can strike him. Pretty simple save in the end. And the Saints will get it away. Still lead him. Georgie's first league goal looks as though it is going to give us 3 straight wins in all competitions. Chelsea winning 2. I have to say it's very early doors, but I think a 3-horse race between us, the Blues, and the Red Devils as well is looking very likely at this current point. If we're going to stay in the race, we've got to keep winning as well. Garner going all the way, James Garner, oh, what a goal! Can contender for goal of the season. And we said last year, James, you've got the green light to strike, mate. We know you can bang him in from range. Goes all the way and bangs it in. Top corner. He's done this before. He's done it again. That's the dagger. Ipswich with another win at Portman Road. His first season with us. He only got us to 1 goal. But... oh, it's got to be 3. Come with me, Georgie. Hey, nicely done. He only got the 1 goal in his first season with us. But I said, like, this guy, he can strike him. He can strike him. We've seen this. And he's got, I think it's 4 or 5 goals last season, and that's his first in the league this year. And if Hassan finds Georgie for his brace, that's going to do it. Ipswich 3, Southampton 0. Who? We've scored 6 goals in our last 2 games. Are we a better player without Adley? Surely not, right? Come on, that's ludicrous. Going through that storm, finding some form, but sadly it's not all positive. Liam Delap is now asking to be an important squad player, and I can't give it to him, Liam. I'm sorry, bro. He might be starting in the absence of Amin Adley, but when he's back, you'll be back on the bench. Anyway, following game, looking to make it 4 wins in a row in all competitions, travelling away to bottom place Nottingham Forest, as we now go into pole position, 2 clear of Manchester United and 3 clear of Chelsea. 3-horse race to start the season off, and right now we're in first place. Let's make sure we stay there with a win against Nuno side away. Come on, Ipswich Town. It's one of the big issues with contracts in career mode for me. It's like you literally cannot convince a player ever to take a reduced squad role. And I think one of the issues is because it's got to be done in chronological order. You might notice that all the contracts follow the exact same order. First, you discuss the amount of time, the squad role, sorry. Then you discuss the amount of time. Then you discuss the possibility of release clause, and then you discuss the salary and bonuses. For me, you should be able to kind of like, you know, come back to a point, if you will. So let's say Liam says there, oh, I want to be an important squad player. You could say, all right, let's put a pin in that, and we'll come back to it. How about if I give you more money, and you know, maybe a bigger sign-on bonus, possibly a release clause, and then we'll discuss whether you still want to be an important squad role, knowing that I'm going to, let's say, you know, put an extra 10, 20 grand a week on your contract, for example. If you're able to like offer different incentives and then come back to the original point, you know, real life players will probably be considering changing their mind a little bit, knowing they've got other advantages to the contract itself. But when you start off and only are able to, you know, offer a reduced squad role, they're always going to say no, because to them, there's no incentive to take that, you know? Forest should be a goal up here. I've really struggled early doors. Jamie Bino Gittins down the left-hand side. Tries to step in field. Garner is there. And get the danger away. I ain't got going yet. We know that the... what a lovely ball that is. We know that these fixtures can be the hardest to win. Bottom versus top. And at the moment, it's the bottoms who are on top. There's a joke in there. I'm not going to say it, though. Gibbs White finds Georgie with the dribble in, and the shot just over the bar. Home or away, a slip up against the side, bottom of the table, quite frankly, is not going to cut it. We might have one last chance to win it. David! 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 Come on! The President with the winner, and the Tractor Boys bailed out of death. Get in! Man, we do not deserve to be going home with those 3 points. Winless, bottom, and probably should have won it in the end, lost it late. How often do we say it? When you're going through it and things are really, really tough, you need to be even better than when things are going well. That's just the cruel nature of the universe, and in this game, we're the ones that get away with it late. That is a lucky, lucky escape if I've ever seen one, man. That is so undeserved. But quite frankly, that's what champions need to do. Win when they haven't played well. And for the Tractor Boys now, it's 4 straight in all competitions. And it's safe to say we've got to the light at the end of the tunnel. See, Doxy boy, you can get through it too. We all can. And now, let's head into this one, going for our 5th straight in all competitions and our 4th in the Europa League. Shamrock Rovers away in Dublin. I love facing Irish sides in Europe. I can't tell you why. I'm excited for this. And let's get a big 3 points here to stay unbeaten in the Europa League. Come on, Ipswich Town. Do you know, I've never been to Dublin before. I don't know why. I mean, it's so close, and it's a Popular British and Irish tourist destination, but literally never been. Never been. Surely at some point I've got to end that. And I have this thing, like when I go to a new place, I always go and watch a football game there. Like I went to Edinburgh for the first time as an adult earlier this year. So thus I had to go and watch either Hearts or Hibs. In the end on the weekend it was Hearts playing, so I went to Tynecastle. But if I'm ever in Dublin, I will definitely make time to go to a Shamrock Rovers game. And tonight as we're here, we've taken a very early lead through Gibbs White, who I'm playing in the striker role tonight. And he's just given us the opener. And this is why, even though his goals and assists numbers have been a lot lower since we initially signed him, it's because he's been playing in a deeper role. If we were playing him up top where we are, I guarantee he'll be one of our top scorers of the season. He's got such great technical ability. Yeah, when a player is playing deeper, it's naturally harder to impact the game on offense. But don't think that Gibbs White isn't putting a shift in every game as the heartbeat, man. But a rare game where he gets to go up top tonight and have a bit of fun. And thus I bank on him probably scoring another as well. And he probably will get one here too. And instead he'll hold on, find the lap and show you he can't just score, but he can assist as well. Liam with another. His contract negotiations continuing to falter. How many more games will he have as an Ipswich Town player? Well, tonight he's doubled our lead. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with Liam Delap, because obviously, losing him on a free would be disastrous. Well, I say disastrous. Not really. He's fourth choice striker now, or at least, third choice maximum if he's battling with the president. And we've got plenty of money. We've still got, lest we forget, 30 mil in unspent funds as well. So losing him on a free wouldn't actually be, again, disastrous. But it's not preferable, let's just say that. But can we give him the important squad role, knowing that realistically he probably won't be anymore? It's a difficult one, really, really difficult. And is that fair to promise him something we can't keep? Anyway, Moses makes it free and we are running rampant in Dublin tonight. 3-0 up, 35 minutes in, and it will be 4 wins in our opening 5 European games. This has been the start to the campaign I was hoping for, but also expecting as well. I said we should be going for qualification and probably top spot in this league phase as well. I really believe now, as a 5-star team, we should be the favourites, if not one of the favourites, to win the whole thing. Yes, the difference in quality between the Ipswich Town team we inherited to the team we are now in Season 5 is quite literally night and day. In the first campaign, just qualifying for a Europa League competition would have been a dream. Now, we have aspirations of winning the whole thing, and why wouldn't we? 4 wins in 5 in Europe in the league phase thus far. Top 8 looking nailed on at this point, and now 5 wins in a row in all competitions. The Tractor Boys are through the storm and are flying once again. Right, let's do a couple more, and this is a big one following contest back home in Portman Road, back in the Premier League. Right now, top by 5 points. We've got a little cushion, but if we are to be champions, well, what's that saying? If you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. Next up, whilst they haven't been the best to start the season or stumbling out the blocks, only 4 wins in 12, they've won 10 of the last 11 Premier League titles. You can never rule them out. Manchester City coming to East Anglia as their position as England's best in the league is coming under threat this season, and one of those teams putting them under pressure is us. Let's prove that's the case with a big win here. Come on, Ipswich Town. Yes, all great dynasties fall at some point. And perhaps this is the beginning of the end of the great Manchester City run. Again, 10 titles in 11 years. Carrying on from this point in the save, winning all 4 so far, but their position under threat this year. And if they are going to get back in a title race after a struggling start with 4 wins in 10, or 12 even, then they could really do with a big win here today. As for us, trying to extend our winning run in all competitions. Big game for both teams. Victor into the middle. Hanko gets it clear, but this is a feisty start. Definitely goals today. You know the most underrated part of this run as well? Something that's gone completely under the radar. 5 straight clean sheets. 5 straight clean sheets. And when you talk about answering your critics, Marcin Bulka, oh yeah, he got clowned on social media after the failure with the Panenka. The memes came out for that. And he's responded with all these clean sheets in a row. But today, again, a tough ask against this Man City team. Made a good save early. But still 0-0, however, is all visitors 33 minutes in. Pep Guardiola saying, I'm not prepared to let this dynasty go just yet. Phil Foden taking the corner with 12 to play in the first. In it goes, header comes in, and once again, it is our number one answering the critics, answering the call. Yeah, Marcin Bulka getting clowned on social media. It got so bad, he had to turn his Instagram comments off. Every post he put up there, there'd be comments of clown emojis, you know, but now he says, sod Instagram, sod social media, let me do a blackout, I'll stop posting for a while, let my game do the talking. And today he's been sensational, save after save, to keep it at 0-0, going for another clean sheet in this run. Here's the president, David Washington denied, it'll drop to Mudryk, can he squeeze it in? No, just over the bar. Career mode is so much more fun to play when you create little storylines, you know. And the story of this game really has been Marcin Bulka on fire, and once again he makes a brilliant save. Flag stayed down on Erling Haaland, full stretch Robin van Persie-esque there with that diving header against Spain. But once again, who's there to answer the call, answering the critics? Marcin Bulka still currently deadlocked at 0-0. As our winning run might be coming to an end, but the unbeaten run will stay, as will Marcin's run of clean sheets. Yup, an excellent performance from Bulka between the sticks, and whilst our winning run comes to an end, come on guys, what is with the crowd reaction? Seriously, that's a point against, okay, fair enough, an out-of-form Man City team, but the dynasty regardless, as the unbeaten run stretches to 6, and the clean sheet run continues as well. Come on, perspective guys, it's not that bad. And with Fulham beating Manchester United, it extends the gap even further. So in the grand scheme of things, quite a good point, as Brighton now become our closest threat, 4 points behind us. But we've got the game in hand, and this is it, and we'll end on it too. Wolves away at Molineux, Gary O'Neill's side, as we go for what would be 7 games in a row without defeat, and hopefully 7 clean sheets on the bounce, as we try and take a 7-point gap at the top of the table. Our final game today, let's try and return to winning ways and end on a big 3 points away at Molineux. Come on, Ipswich Town. The introduction of Gonzalo has been, I mean, so impactful as well. He's a big reason why we've kept all these clean sheets, as he makes a good tackle early there. And you think about the start he had to the season, the first few games, I said it, I wasn't really getting on with him, but he's really turned it around since then. And it was the whole theme of last season, you know, despite struggling starts, there's always a time to turn the tide. Marcin Bulka did that last season. He had a poor start and then he won the Golden Glove. And Gonzalo's followed the exact same pattern. Struggling start, but takes accountability. Oh my word! Takes accountability and puts it right on the pitch. And Georgie, if you want to start doing the same, son, I'd really appreciate that. Only his 3rd league goal, but it's an absolute belter from one of our new signings. Takes it out of his feet, takes aim from 20 yards, takes us into an early lead. That is a corker. Yeah, in this kind of instant gratification culture we're in, time isn't often given like it used to be before. You know, if a player, I mean, heaven forbid, imagine if, you know, we talked about this recently in the last episode, imagine if a striker went on a 16-game run without a goal now, like Peter Crouch did at Liverpool, you know. I mean, they would be written off about 1/3 of the way through that run, let alone getting to that point. There's Anafia plays a lovely through ball there. It's just an on-demand culture we're in right now, man. It's just the times have changed. But right now, this guy is saying the time is now for me to show I can replace Amin as the main man. That's going to take some doing, but he's off to a flyer here at Molineux. 2 goals up early. Yep, there's no doubt about it. Ipswich Town have ridden the storm. They've got to the light at the end of the tunnel. And they've proved if you are going through tough times, well, just keep going. Because this too shall pass and you'll eventually get to the end of it. Liam Delap almost got our 3rd in what has been a controlled display away in the Midlands. Still up by 2, and as things stand, taking that 7-point gap at the top of the table. There is a long way to go with Man City struggling to start the season off and us looking really good. With only the 1 loss so far against Chelsea. If there was ever a time for there to be a new champion, it is now. Yep, prove today that if you are going through tough times, just keep going, because we all have them. We'll all have these moments. We'll all have these patches. but we can all get through them and get to happier days. Ipswich Town definitely have, and Doxy boys feeling good as well. A big win. It is 6 in 7 in all competitions, 7 straight clean sheets, and top of the table with a nice cushion as well. What's not to love? Tractor Boys Rev. Have a great day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for next episode very soon. We'll get to the halfway stage of the league season and play match day 6 of the Europa League against the current league phase leaders, Torino. Have a great day. Much love, and I'll see you for it very soon.